Hi there, welcome to part 4 of this little lathe project. I've been working away with these little scouring pads which I had previously and the WD-40, cleaning off the rubbish etc, so it's reasonably clean now. I'll bring you across and have a look in a moment. Somebody has commented that instead of using these little pads I could have used Scotch-Brite pads, so thanks for that. And Scotch-Brite pads come in perhaps at least 3 different grades of coarseness, maybe even 6, I'm not really sure, but a quick search on the internet might turn something up for you there. I looked on the internet and found on eBay at least 3 different types of coarseness, so thanks for that comment. I spoke previously about this bore inside of this quill here for the centre and what to treat that with, and somebody's kindly commented that perhaps I use a Morse taper 2 reamer. So I've got a couple of Morse taper 2 reamers now on order. They should be here shortly, and then I'll insert them in there, and if there is any rust, hopefully that will clear that up. I have had another comment from a viewer, and I'll bring you back to that one in a moment. But firstly, I've had a delivery of some gel rust dissolver. This isn't the same type as the one that I was thinking of getting. This is slightly cheaper and nowhere near the postage, because this is free postage, I think it was. So this is only £32 as opposed to perhaps £80 for the other stuff. And again, looking on YouTube, somebody compared this with the other type, and in that comparison this did appear to come off slightly better, so I'm going to give it a go anyway. What I do need to be very aware of is the safety instructions on the back of the bottle. It's really quite nasty stuff if you get it on you, so a well ventilated place, plenty of protection etc. I'll be getting my protection on very shortly, so do be aware of that. I'll be doing that before I use it, and what I'm hoping to do is, again, it's a gel, and I'll put the gel on, stipple it on with a brush, really quite localized on the rust itself, and what I will do then, I will cover it in some cling film wrap to stop the rust dissolver evaporating away. This then has to stay on for 8 hours, and then we remove the covering that we've put on, the cling film, remove that and wipe off the excess, and we will see what effect it's had on this rust. Now I want to put it on localized to the rust itself, because I'm not sure how volatile this will be with regard to the rest of the steel work. Hopefully, because there's no rust on it, it won't affect it. It will only affect the rust. That's what I'm hoping. We'll find out. What I have been doing, I've been trying to measure the thickness of the rust layer on this lathe bed. Come over and have a closer look. So I've been trying to use this vernier gauge just to give me some kind of rough idea how thick this actual rust layer is, such that when we've used the solution we can see whether it really was effective in taking it down at all. So the way I've been doing this is I've been opening the gauge, putting it onto a clear piece of steel where there is no rust, setting it down till it settles, and then when it's been down I've pressed the 0 on it to 0 the gauge, because if I wanted to close it up further I actually could. There, I've closed the jaws up a little bit further, so that in closing that up that would give me a false reading. So what I've been doing, I have opened it up like that, set it onto the steel, set it down, and whatever reading it's come out at. I've pressed the 0, then I've opened the gauge again so that we've got that sticking out. I've put it down onto a clear piece of steel and then arranged it so that one of these pieces will land on the rust, and when I've pushed it down and hopefully got it settled, see what that reads. So that's reading 4.5 thou at the moment. Now I have had it reading 6. I've done it several times and I've had it as high as 6,000. So we'll get toggered up with some safety equipment and then we'll put this anti-rust gel on and leave that for 8 hours. Come back perhaps in another video and have a look and see how we've gone with that. So while we're near to the lathe, I'll just come back to the other gentleman's comment. Somebody commented that these are actually carrying handles for the lathe. How excellent is that? Thank you very much for that comment. I thought they were something to secure it onto a specific bench for this particular lathe, but no, apparently they are carrying handles. 2 come out on this side of the lathe and there are 2 on the other side of the lathe that again come out, and they're actually carrying handles. So if anybody's thinking of moving one of these lathes, check that out. So once again, thanks for that comment. So having got gloved up etc and got my spectacles on, my overalls etc, remove the top of this stuff and we find it's got a silver foil over the top of that as well. I'm going to pour some of this rust remover into one of these plastic takeaway tubs so that I'm not contaminating the main bottle by anything I'm putting into it. Let's have a look what it's like when it pours. Right, I'm only putting a small amount in because I don't know how far it goes, what it's like, and how volatile it actually is to the remainder of the steel, but at least it should help with the rust, and we will see. I'm just putting the brush in and pop it on there. And as I say, I'm trying to keep it in the location of the rust such that it's only affecting the rust. I don't want it to eat the metal away, I just want it to eat the rust. So whether this stuff can tell the difference between metal and rust, only time will tell. But the rust has got to be removed, so let's see what we're left with in approximately 8 hours time. And I'll also do the underside, or should I say the relief side of the dovetail area of these slideways. This stuff isn't supposed to affect any plastic seals or anything like that. And following the previous cleaning that I have done, I think it's come up quite well already, the lathe itself. So I'll put some on the underside of these dovetails where the rust has crept down. It's more watery than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be quite a gel rather than a sticky fluid. Because it's quite, as you can see it moving about there, it's quite a fluid rather than gel. But we'll put this stuff on and see what happens. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And looking at this stuff, for the £32 I've spent on it, I think it'll go a long way, to be fair. Who knows, maybe my classic car's in with a chance. Then again, maybe if I left it soaking in this for 8 hours, there'd be no classic car left. We'll find out. I'll deal with these bits here. As I said, later I'll take them apart, etc. And deal with them then, but we're just doing it like this as a comparison really, so we can see the whole thing as a whole and see what we make of this stuff. I can certainly smell it. Let's see how it goes with the chromed parts. Take this off. Take this off and do it just there like that, and see what happens to that then. See whether this stuff has any effect on the chrome. This might well get shot blasted in any event. I think I'll sort of shot blast, sand blast some of the bits and pieces that we take off this lathe. But we're just checking this stuff out first. Let's see what develops with it all. I'll put some onto that piece of plastic there. It's not supposed to affect plastic, I don't think, so we'll see. I've not used this stuff before, so I'll just leave this drying in the drip tray at the bottom there. And I'll put some cling film over it in a moment. But I've hardly used any of this stuff at the moment, so plenty left. So we'll get the cling film, put the cling film over it. You're not supposed to put the cling film on tight. It's supposed to be just a case of putting it on to prevent it evaporating. So it says to just put it on loosely. So that's what we'll do. Just pop it over there, down underneath. Put a bit more on. See how it goes on with that threaded section of rod there. So I put a little bit down inside the quill there, so we'll see how that goes. So if this stuff is a success on the other parts, then I'll do these hand wheels as well. It might be that I just take these off and get them shot blasted, sandblasted. But let's just see how it goes first of all. See how it goes on this bit of chrome work, etc. Just loosely cover that. There you go. Okay, so there we are then. Let's see how this product goes on with dissolving this rust, and hopefully we'll come back in another video. I'm going to give this 8 hours now, as it says on the bottle, and I'll return and see whether I've still got a lathe or whether it's completely disappeared. I don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.